The best stories are those that deal with change and our growth as human beings. The past few years have led to growing uncertainty for most South Africans. We have seen lives being turned upside down and people losing many of the things they have worked so hard to achieve. It has been a very difficult time for everyone. In spite of this, there are people all around us who have taken their losses in stride, taken what they were left with, and have started building their lives once again without feeling sorry for themselves or losing heart. This is one of the truest signs of a hero, someone who stands up to the cruel blows of life and comes out the other end bigger and stronger. Let's meet our next hero.
My name's Christine. I'm 31 years old and I live in Belleville, Cape Town. I started a policy near the end of 2007 with Sanlam. I was working for quite a small company. I worked there until about February 2011 when I was retrenched. They paid me out 2 months' salary, so I was okay for a while, but after that I started struggling. When I wanted to cash in my policy, my broker advised me against it. I think his main concern was that I'd regret it later on because then I'd have nothing and have to start all over again when I finally did get on my feet. And he also advised against it because I was getting close to my 30s, and the later you start, the more difficult it is. So I decided I'd rather freeze it because I got the policy in the first place to see to my future, which is, you know, what I'm planning for, because at the moment things were quite hard. So, you always have to think about your future. So I decided, okay, for 3 months, they gave me a grace period. When it came to the end of my 3-month grace period, I had this feeling, I did think about cashing in my policy then as well. But I had this feeling like I really didn't want to, because the whole thing about getting the policy in the first place is to feel secure, and I needed to feel secure, and having the policy made me feel more secure about the future. When I didn't have the policy, before I had the policy, I just felt, I felt very scared about what could happen in the future. I managed then by staying with my dad, and I did help some friends with their books and stuff, and I did sell some sandwiches in the area in Fishhook to small businesses, which didn't make that much money, but I got by enough. I managed to start paying my policy again from the end of July, because my grace period was ended. And then I got a job in November 2011, and things started looking up from there. Last month I was made permanent at Immediate 24. I got a good increase, and I got all the perks from the company. I got medical aid, and I found out I was pregnant. It was a bit of a surprise, but being 31, I'm actually very pleased with the fact that I am pregnant, because I didn't know if it was ever going to happen. I know my salary isn't great and you can never have enough money for a child, but now that I have security and I know that I can look after a child, I can offer the child something, but I also want to know that in the future my child is going to have a decent education. So knowing that I can put aside a small amount of money every month, and because I've been doing it for so long, I do want to get a policy for my child started as soon as the child is born. I used to get quite scared in the past, because the thing is, my dad got his retirement early at 55. That was after my mom died. So he was ready to leave work, and he cashed it in, but in a lump sum. And that wasn't a good idea, because things fell apart a bit and kind of the retirement kind of vanished. So at the moment he has very little income. He has a very small policy that still pays out to him every month. But to see the way he struggles, he has no money. It looks like he's lost his dignity. It's very sad to see. And he lives worse than I live. And he has to ask his children for money. and he was quite well respected in his career, and it's just very sad to see how he ended up. And I just don't want that to happen to me, or have my children suffer and have to look after me when I'm old. Saving for the future is important to me because it affects it's not just about me, because it's about me and my family and the family I'm going to have. And I just don't want unhappiness at the end of my life, and to make my children's lives unhappy, or to put strain on anyone because I haven't managed to look after myself properly. I also feel it's a matter of pride to be able to look after yourself properly, and I feel saving for my future I feel it's something you need to do. I do see myself as a modern day savings hero, because I feel even though I've faced difficulties in the past, I've managed to carry on with my savings, and now I'm in a good place and I have savings behind me, and I just feel that I can attribute that to myself for just carrying on and keeping up with the savings even though it was difficult.